In this overall view of the next photos, there was an opening to the blue sky to my right and a warmer setting sun to my left.
The blue sky to the east caused a color crossover problem on her face and blue hair on our right.
By blocking the blue sky to our right, we were left with only the warmer west sky as her main light. Sometimes it's hard to see color casts with the naked eye, but the effect can be predicted by looking at and studying the color of the light sources. I had Westcott make an L-shaped gobo that we appropriately and somewhat uncreatively named the ElGobo. It effectively and conveniently controls both top and side light. They don't make it anymore as a single unit, but you can purchase those parts separately.
You can make a do-it-yourself ElGobo using PVC and lightweight opaque black material to block the top light and side light. I have the complete construction plans in my Fuzzy Logic book.
We want our main light and fill light to be the same color, so sometimes we'll need to block one of those that's a different color. Let's look at the two options to do that. The sunset was to my left, so the ElGobo will block the blue sky to my right. And this would block the warm sunset to our left. Problem with allowing both to light the subject is that we get a mixed light. This is subtle, but you'll see the benefit when we block one or the other. Let's start by blocking the blue sky. You can see how the light evens out. It's a bit warm, but we can either choose to leave it that way or reduce the warmth in the raw conversion software. Now let's try the other way. Again, let's start with the mixed color problem. And this time we'll block the sunset, leaving us with a slightly blue image. But I neutralized that blue in the raw software. Not shown in this setup shot is my fuzzy reflector off to the right. It's sending pretty strong sunlight to the subject.
Without the ElGobo, the reflected light is strong enough to overpower the light on the front of her face. But as you can see, the shadow side is still illuminated by the predominantly blue sky. With the ElGobo blocking that blue sky on her right side or our left, her face is now only lit with warm light. By the way, if you ever want to reduce the lighting contrast, you could turn the ElGobo's side panel around and use that white side to reflect some of the main light for fill light. The beauty of this device is that it can redirect the direction of the light by blocking the light we don't want. This isn't a bad image, but I felt it could benefit from a short light, that is, light coming from our left or more to the front of his face. As it is, the light is pretty much coming from everywhere. I think this is an improved image achieved by forcing the light to come only from our left. Here's the ElGobo in action. Although the light behind me is fairly strong and there's a reflective gravel driveway under her, there's still too much top and side light. Placing the ElGobo there blocks that problem light and allows the light only to come from the direction that we want. Without the ElGobo in place, we can see that her eyes are a bit dark and the light lacks direction. Now with the ElGobo, we've sculpted the light and forced it to come from directly in front of her. Because the ElGobo makes it easy to control the direction of light,
It's just as easy to choose broad light or short light. Usually I prefer to light the front planes of a face like this, rather than the side of the face with broad lighting. Which way? Your choice. Just move the ElGobo to one side or the other. The ElGobo is really best on overcast days, but on occasion it can be used on a sunny day. Okay, now what the heck are we going to do here? Well, my thought process was to use the sunlit background in the same key as her top. So how can we make the background that bright? By reducing the light on her. So I placed my ElGobo over her, then added a softbox flash so we'd have a directional, clean light source. The result, on the right of course, is exactly what I intended. There are plenty of locations that I won't tackle due to lighting or background issues, but with a trained eye I can spot the potential for some really great images in what might seem to be a troublesome spot. Through the use of light control and a long lens, we can make something out of almost nothing. One more somewhat unusual unflattering light problem is excessive light coming from below the subject. We're used to seeing light come from above the face, not below. So we don't want light coming up at the face. I was photographing this senior girl on her front porch. The porch's roof blocked the top light. The gobo to the right was subtracting blue sky side light. But look at how strong that sunlight is bouncing off of the cement below. That excessive bottom light resulted in an unattractive lighting pattern on her face. See the shadows near her eyes from her cheeks? After blocking that excessive bottom light, you can see how much better it is for her. And this is how I did it. I put a black gobo on the cement, as well as used some chairs nearby to create a shadow on the cement floor. As a result, the strongest light was coming from eye level, not from down below her. This guy's eyes were very sensitive to light, so my only option outside on this sunny day was to subtract it. But my normal devices left sunlight on the concrete in front of him. That caused uplight. So I laid that black material down on the concrete directly in front of him. While the problem isn't extreme here, since there's a lot of other light coming at his face, that uplighting isn't flattering. I blocked it with that black material lying on the concrete. And this before and after shows the improvement of blocking that uplight.
Pretty people can handle bad light, so I'll take advantage of that and experiment with non-traditional lighting when I have a photogenic person. But you can see how much better the more traditional light is for her. And just a reminder that uplighting isn't always a bad thing. You can use it with purpose.